can sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. I can see that you are following current geopolitical developments.
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
So can you give me a gist of 5-6 items which you have followed recently?
Yes, sir. Geopolitical spectrum is very broad. If we look at the major happenings, then conflict between Pakistan and Iran and support to Houthis at the Red Sea, conflict between Israel and Palestine, conflict between Russia and Ukraine, but at the same time the negotiation at the WTO can also not be excluded from the geopolitical significance. So spectrum is very broad.
Did you follow the Raisina dialogue?
Sir, no, sir.
But that is our country's dialogue.
Yes, sir. It was.
That is far more important for us.
I apologize, sir. I will follow it, sir.
Okay. So, whom do you listen to on YouTube? Who are your favorite YouTubers?
Yes, sir. Sir, I follow Shekhar Gupta ji on the print, and there is a channel of Australian blogger Perun. I follow him, and among the Indian there is Straight News Global. There is a defense expert Nitin Gokhale. I follow him, sir.
You follow Nitin Gokhale also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And distance learning.
Yes, sir.
What is the importance of distance learning?
Sir, it has its root in School of Open Education. At that time, we wanted to increase our literacy, but it was evident that everyone cannot go to school. So there was a...
But now we can have online classes. That
Yes,
is
sir.
also distance learning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There can be a teacher there and he can teach online.
Yes, sir.
So is it relevant now, distance learning?
Sir, it is even more relevant in national education policy. We have adopted a credit-based system in which a mix of online classes is also given the same amount of credit.
Okay.
So in that, and if you look at this changing perspective,
Yeah.
so there are many skills which can be acquired in the online mode, and that would be beneficial for the person who cannot go to the class. In that regard, it is a significant step.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very good. And let me see your preferences. You have given second preference to Indian Foreign Service.
Yes, sir.
So what is the duty of a diplomat? Who is a diplomat, by the way?
Diplomat, sir, I do not know the technical definition, but from my observation, sir, he is a representative of, he or she is representative of India in a foreign country, executing India's interests. So in that large mandate, the exact tasks are carrying out the policy, connecting with the diaspora there, and in case of conflict like in the Ukraine, evacuation of the citizen from there. So these sort of activities they carry out.
What is the difference between an ambassador and high commissioner?
Sir, I'm not very sure, but I had read somewhere that ambassador and diplomat differ in the sense that in the Commonwealth countries, the same position is designated as High Commissioner.
Okay, very good. What is the convention that governs diplomatic missions abroad? This is a very well-known convention.
Sir, sorry, sir, I do not know, sir.
You do not know. Okay. Now on India. Can you list out 5 important schemes of the central government announced in the last few years, which are touching the poorest of the poor of the country to improve their livelihood, or their, to take them out of poverty?
Yes, sir. Sir, on the top of the list, in my opinion, sir, is Jan Dhan scheme. Following that, Ayushman Bharat scheme. After that, sir, PM Janman scheme. And among the empowerment in the financial sector, Mudra loan scheme. And the last one, sir, for the rural women, I would consider SHG as a major step, sir.
Very good, very good.
Nitin, suppose you get into the choice of service, your service, and You will find different age groups there in the academy. Okay, it will be even youngest will be there and your age. How we are going to deal with the generation gap? It will be almost a generation because generations are changing every 10 years now.
Yes.
How are we going to deal with that?
Sir, practically speaking, when I worked in the presently in the present organization and in the previous organization, I felt there is no such difficulty where I have to put in extra effort. But even if I face such challenge, where because of large age gap, there is some lack of communication, I would try to address it by talking to the person more and considering his views or her views in the perspective that they may be because of a different timeline.
Okay, Ukraine war and pandemic. What all opportunities or difficulties brought to India? What all difficulties they brought? Difficulties, or you can say opportunities also.
Yes, sir. Sir, common difficulty we faced in the both conflict, one conflict and one problem, was supply chain disruption, and because of that, we have given extra push for the Atmanirbharta. Make in India has gathered additional feats because of that thing, and sir, among the opportunities, I would say, sir, India's food security in the both instances was evident, where we were the provider of the grains to the world. So in that regard, it shows the resilience of the Indian policy.
Okay, Article 280 and 243I. Is there any something common in these two articles?
Sorry, sir.
280, you know what is 280?
Sir, I'm not sure, sir.
In the news, 16th Finance Commission. Yes. Okay. You reading newspapers?
Yes, sir.
Lot of elections are going on in different countries. Can you tell me in how many countries roughly elections will be held during 2024? Some have been held and some are going to be held.
Sir, I'm not sure about the exact number, but it is upward of 60 countries among the
60 country and 1/3 of the population, 1/3 of GDP and all. Achha, okay. Capex. What has been the capex this year? Revised budget and proposed for the next year.
Sir, it is 11 lakh crore this year.
This year how much?
Uh,
Running year.
yes, sir. In the interim budget,
That is interim budget for the next year. I am telling about this year first.
right, sir. It was 10 lakh crore in the financial year 24, and it was 7.5% of the total budget allocation. And next year it would be roughly 11% of the allocation, sir.
Have you heard of Khula divorce? Khula divorce.
Yes, sir, I have heard about it. Sir, it means a Muslim woman, when she goes divorce, then she can ask for the divorce to the Muslim clergy through this process of khula.
Any mandatory requirement here in our country? She needs permission of husband.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware.
Okay. Thank you.
UP is in a transition mode. It is going very fast. It has superseded Tamil Nadu, second highest state GDP. Now, what are the three important things in the UP budget which helps UP's dream of $1 trillion economy in the near future, 2027 or so? What are the important features for manufacturing in UP budget?
Sorry, sir, I'm not. I have not read about this.
Unemployment is an issue in Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Agriculture, unemployment. What are the measures you would suggest to reduce disguised and all kinds of unemployment in agriculture sector?
Sir, broadly, there would be two kind of measures. One would be applicable to the whole state, and second, they would be region specific. The measures which I would take for the whole of the state would be curtailing of the manpower and shifting them from the agriculture to the industrial and service sector activities, because that much manpower is not required in the.
But they need a skill for that.
Sir, yes, sir. That would be the second step, sir. We need to invest in the bridge courses, sir. We don't have time to go for the elaborate education acquiring. We need to find out the potential of the person.
That indirectly means that India's skill development programs are a thorough failure.
No, sir. This is the part of the Skill India mission.
Can you pick up some skill development guys and start something in UP, some district where you come from, Hardoi?
Yes, sir. Sir, it has already been done.
What has been done?
Sir, there is a MNC, which is Indian MNC.
Which MNC?
Sir, Zoho.corp.
Okay.
So,
What are they doing?
they are selling softwares.
Okay.
And traditionally, when we see
They are making software or selling software?
they have a software suite, so they are different from the traditional behemoth like Google's and Meta, in the sense that they hire people only from the elite colleges. But Zoho is known to have their own university to train the people who are even from the road. They have trained their security guard, and he is excellent software maker right now. Yes, sir. And they have their headquarter in a village. They are operating from a village. That is also against the convention that we can only operate from a A-class city. So in that regard, they are also providing rural employment. And they had come to Varanasi. They have hired people from the rural background in Varanasi, and they have trained them in software making skills. And
It's very good. Since you were talking about software making development skills, what are the process involved in from request onwards, requisition, when you receive a request for making a software, how do you go ahead?
sir, even though I'm not exactly.
You are not. Then we will not talk to you about that. You are political anthropology. Anthropologists divide in their opinion. Some anthropologists say, they have studied, they say that isolation is the best policy. Some others, on the contrary, say mainstreaming is the best policy. What do you believe? Who told what? And what is the best policy?
Sir, both the things are extremes of a pole. The best policy is the choice.
Okay. Who told assimilation is the best? One or two anthropologists.
Yes, sir. Please give me some time to recall, sir. Assimilation was proposed by G.S. Ghurye, sir, and isolation was proposed by Elvin, sir.
Okay. What is your policy?
Sir, my policy is choice.
Cultural relativism, who told?
Sir, cultural relativism had come from the concept of historical particularism, which was proposed by Franz Boas.
Okay, now let us talk to Talcott Parson. UP social system has many evils. How do you identify and do away with these two or three problems using Talcott Parson's system theory?
Sorry, sir, I'm not very versed with the system theory, sir.
You didn't study Talcott Parson?
Sir, I have studied, but it's been a long time.
Okay. Do you think Marx interpretation will be useful?
Sir, Marxist approach was not in my syllabus, and
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, Nitin. So, which is this time we are meeting?
fourth time, sir.
Fourth time. Okay. Good. But we are seeing marked improvement in you. So, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good. So, Nitin, you are from Hardoi, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I heard that Hardoi has got a big textile mega park sanctioned.
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about it, sir.
Okay. No, that's a fact.
Right, sir. I'll read about it, sir.
That's a fact. Yeah. But just on that thing, no, that if a textile mega park is sanctioned, And Uttar Pradesh government is going to invest very heavily on them. People have a lot of expectations from them, people of Hardoi. But they are up against very, very strong competitors in Bangladesh, Vietnam, all these countries, no? Cambodia, which have cheaper labor, okay, and resources also.
Yes, sir.
So how is Hardoi going to compete?
Sir, in that regard, Hardoi has a competitive advantage because it is not that much urbanized. Labor cost is not very high in Hardoi. In order to make the process remunerative, we need to cut the middleman. We need to directly export from Hardoi to international markets. We'll not sell in India if we want to.
So what will you do about the middlemen? Will you throw them in the Indian Ocean
No, sir.
and then rescue by the Indian Air Force where you worked?
No, sir. Sorry, sir. I did not mean that. We would form a association.
Middlemen, they are a very large section of our society.
Yes, sir.
Not only in India, traditionally in India and everywhere in the world. No?
Sir, but I was considering, sir, the person who is manufacturing and he is downtrodden because they are just shifting from the handloom to power loom. In that scenario,
How can they reach a consumer without the agency of middlemen? Is it possible?
sir, in my humble view, it is possible, sir.
How? Tell us, enlighten us, please. We will change the course of Indian economy.
No, sir, I'm not that significant, sir, but this is my humble suggestion. Like if we look at the government procurement, there is GM portal, we register a vendor, and whoever comes at the L1 would be selected.
They are all middlemen.
Government
On
is
GEM portal,
middleman.
they are all middlemen.
So in that regard, if I may suggest, sir, if we form a cooperative at the grassroots level and there is a middleman, there is one manufacturer will always be able to supply at a lower cost. So middleman won't be having any incentive to pursue that agenda on the GM portal. In that regard, we'll be able to sell more, directly reach to the agency which is procuring.
It means what you are saying, Nitin, that middlemen are not performing any function which is related to the whole business chain of products.
No, sir. My contention was this: the person who is doing value addition entitled to more profits. The person who is just connecting buyer and seller doesn't entitled to that much of profit. Surely, middlemen are required. Where the person doesn't have the reach, then the middleman is unavoidable. But to the extent where
Okay. Let's cut it short in the interest of time. You studied anthropology as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I heard correct that you studied anthropology. So see, anthropology is about culture, basically. Yeah. So it expresses in terms of behavior. Okay. So in that respect, actually, and in culture we learn from each other, basically. So in that terms, how would you rate serials like Mirzapur, which have become very popular, but which teach violence and all that? So what should be done actually? Why censor has allowed that?
Yes, sir. Sir, even though I have not watched the Mirzapur in particular, but yes, sir, the increase in violence is evident. And one reason is, sir, once the program is telecasted or broadcasted on the TV or through DTH, there are more regulations. But on the OTT, the regulations are very liberal. So from the supply side, they follow less stringent regulation. That is why it is able to be telecasted.
No, as an anthropologist, my question was, as an anthropologist, what's your view on that?
Sir, my view is it clearly shows that there is a demand for violence in the market. And why there is a demand, we need to study more. But in my small, humble opinion, sir, because somehow we as a society are responsible. We have not checked it. We have not trained our youth. We have failed at somehow at the social conditioning.
Okay. Please.
Mr. Nitin, I just wanted to carry forward the discussion there. Let's say are you aware of numismatics?
Sir,
Okay, no issues. Let's say, for example, there is one rarest of the rare coin with you.
Yes.
Now, the coin is the demand for the coin is around 10 lakhs or 12 lakhs.
Yes.
Now, according to you, the producer of the coin should get all these profits, or the one who stored it, or who took it from there to here?
Sir, in the case of a rare coin, there would be many stakeholders in the process of making it a valuable. First thing would be the person who has kept it would be entitled to the profit. The assessor who certifies it that this coin is that much old, it is authentic coin, he would also be entitled to the profit. And since it is a rare coin, it is of very high value, so there would be very few buyers. Then we would require middleman. He would also be entitled to certain profits. So there would be even more people, but these.
So read more, middlemen are functional to the society. You need to work on transparency in the entire supply chain.
Yes, sir.
So to strengthen the decision making. So that should be the approach anyway. So fine. So you are interested in geopolitics.
Yes, sir.
So is our neighborhood first policy a success story? Or which are the areas you would try to improve upon?
Yes, sir. Sir, if I analyze neighborhood policy, sir, largely it is a success, but there have been some areas where we can improve, like the ongoing issue with the Maldives could have been handled better. The last year's problems with Sri Lanka could have been anticipated and dealt proactively rather than reactively. At the same time, we have achieved significant milestones, like from 2021 onwards, we have maintained peace at the Pakistan border. We have maintained relationship despite military government in Myanmar and Taliban government in Afghanistan. They are still favorable to India. And at the Chinese front, we need to come up with better solutions which give us strategic edge, which is still to be desired, sir.
What could have been better with respect to Maldives?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is a political problem rather than problem between two countries. So we could have approached the person who is contesting the election, and we could have held up some discussions and resolved the problems raised by him. Like he was suggesting that military personnel should be not present in the country. So that could have been replaced by the civilian manpower for that particular purpose. So could have been one wrinkle less.
Okay.
This is being done now.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the beginning we could have done, sir.
Okay. So with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, so there is once again the resurgence of certain terrorist activities. Did you come across it? Yes. So what approach you would suggest?
Sir, in order to substantiate the resurgence, we need to compare it with earlier data. So if we compare with 2019 and before period, this would not be counted as resurgence. But if we compare it with a peaceful period of last 1.5 year, 2 year, then it may be counted as a resurgence. The reasons could be, sir, like in the Rajouri Poonch area, there is thick forest area. And in that area, it is very difficult to ascertain if somebody has infiltrated from across the border. So that was a detection problem. But we have stepped up our game, and there is a deployment of drones now, satellite monitoring, and by that we have countered it effectively, sir.
Okay, one last question. So we got Red Sea problem, Houthi problem, where Iran's proxy are fighting. On the other hand, when there was a conflict between Iran and Pakistan, what was our stand, and how did we balance India and Iran relations?
Sir, I could not understand the first part of the question.
So the first part was we were equally fighting in the Red Sea issue for the safety.
Yes, sir.
So with whom were we fighting? Who are we fighting with? Who are the troublemakers in the Red Sea?
Yes, sir. Sir, we are not fighting anyone in Red Sea. We are just safeguarding our own assets.
Who was the problem
Yes, sir.
creators.
Houthis, who are sponsored by the Iran, they had threatened that any ship which is affiliated with Israel, they would attack those ships. And India has made its stance clear, and it has engaged in the backdoor diplomacy with the Iran and other countries, and it had come up with a resolution that ships would be protected. And second thing, we have deployed our own attack ships in the sea, which would protect our assets. And in the second case, sir, regarding Pakistan and Iran problem, our Ministry of External Affairs had issued the statement that it is upon these two independent nations the way they want to handle, but they should maintain peace, but at the same time terrorism should not be tolerated. So
Thank you.
sir, thank you, sir.
All the best.
All the best.